Right, today we are taking apart a Logitech Bluetooth mouse. Mouse is very nice, but sometimes crumbs and stuff get in there, and so I'm actually taking it apart to clean it. And there's my tools and everything. Took out the battery already in the back already. I'm just sizing up my tools so I can get the right screwdriver for the job. I used to have a magnetic mat, but lost my magnetic mat. I can't even talk today. So those are really good for the small screws, because if you lose them, yeah, it's a nightmare. So I'm using my lid today, which is not ideal. And I just have all the stuff that I have to unpack. So the cleaning kit that I have, it is for like phones, cell phones, and the AirPod cases. So you can see there that that's like the detail right there for that tool. And then I even have like a little fuzzy tool to get down in the case and everything. So very handy kit. And then of course you already seen the little thing that I used to blow stuff with. Later on I plan on getting something better, like a little vacuum or something like that, because puffing all that air be wearing my hands out sometimes. But it has a little brush on it too, which is good for like the AirPod tips that go into your ears. And it can be used for a variety of things. So it was on Amazon. Where I bought that from. I also bought the toolkit from Amazon as well. I'm doing a voiceover because my house is crazy. My house is a little bit crazy right now, but everyone is upstairs, so. Now I'm just taking off the other part, cleaning that off. And if you see in the video, I keep cleaning the same parts because I made the mistake of cleaning the parts right above the other parts. So, of course, they got dirty again. Wasn't thinking. It happens. So I have to go back through, clean it up again. See all the fuzzies. Ooh, fuzzies. Getting in there. Got a wipe there, just doing a quick cleaning. So, didn't get anything heavy duty, like I said, no soap or anything like that. And I kept forgetting that my camera was lower, and so I kept lifting it up, so I apologize about that. Cause like the majority of like the crumbs and stuff was like right in there, but there's a good bit underneath as well. It's been a while since I cleaned it out. The mouse is pretty old. I think last time I cleaned it, it was about a year. So I don't clean out too often. It doesn't get, that dirty or anything like that. I mean, it's a mouse. Just every once in a while, just do, a little maintenance clean. Get more dirt and everything like that out. And you see, couldn't lift it up too much. If you're doing this, you want to be careful because it is attached right there. And so I had to take that up, and you want to make sure you don't pull by the wires. Never pull by the wires. I have a tool in there for that. It's called a sputter. Don't quote me. But I didn't want to take it out. I just wanted to use my nails there. So if you got decent nails, you can, pry it up like that sometimes. But if it's real stubborn, sometimes you have to go in with the tool. And as you can see, I'm wiping that out a little bit. Not too much, because that's the motherboard in there. And you can see the wheel. And the wheel is actually what was messing up, because it got some crumbs and stuff in between the like the wheel has like two, I want to say like handles, and so one handle goes on a button and the other handle helps the wheel turn, like keeps the wheel in place and everything, helps it turn. So the part that goes on the button, in between there was dirt. So it wasn't, if you click on the wheel like a lot of people like to do, it wouldn't like react the way it should. And then sometimes it wasn't scrolling right either. And so if you're having that problem, sometimes it's just a simple thing as taking it apart and clean that wheel a little bit. Instead of throwing it away. Some people are like, oh, it's $10, but if you got a really nice mouse, that's way more than $10. So, something to think about. There's the button. Let's check that out. And that is a button too. The blue is a button to connect to the Bluetooth. And the black button is the on and off switch. It's actually a switch. So later on in the video, you'll see me put it back together and test it to make sure it's working properly and it's connected to the board properly. I enjoy taking apart stuff like this, seeing what's in there and what makes it work. Trying to get in all those nooks and crannies. And this would have been a great part where you could just put in some soap and water and dip it real quick, and then take a brush it real good, and then go in with that sharp knife thing that I have, and then just go around the edges that didn't come out, then dry it really good, really, really good, and then you could just put it back together. I was trying to be quick with it. So that's why I didn't, do that. Or you can definitely do that. You just have to make sure it's thoroughly dry. No. Even with the motherboards, they always say like, okay, use alcohol. But the type of alcohol that a lot of people use for like electronics is not the type of alcohol you get from a regular store. So it has more like alcohol content. They sell it on Amazon though, so Going through each piece, making sure it's nice and clean before I put it back together. And as you can see, I'm like doing it right over the piece that I just cleaned. So that was down. I'm like, oh crap. Now I'm gonna stuff all that. So as you can see, like I go through and clean it again. I did move out the way. Like I said, I was in a bit of a rush. There I was setting it back up, making sure it's in the right order. There's a certain way that piece goes in, that black piece. So you see I'm over there telling letting you see how it worked. How it's supposed to switch on and off in there because it sits in there a certain way. And if you don't put it in that way, it's not going to do that what you just seen. So if you're taking apart a mouse is similar, you're going to see the difference when you go to work it. And look, I'm doing it again. But there was a lot of stuff caked in there. So I wanted to make sure I got that out. That was mostly dust. I don't know. This way. This is my friend's mouse. He loves his mouse. Loves his mouse. So, see here, I'm showing you the hexagon part. And so that hexagon part, I know you can't really see that it's a hexagon, but if you feel it, you'll know it's a hexagon. Anyway, the hexagon part goes into that circle. So you just want to stick it into there. A little hole right there. And then that holds the whole entire wheel and controls the whole entire wheel. And then the skinny one just sits on that button. You want to make sure that it's right on the button, because as you can see, it can slide back and forth. So it can slide off that button and it's not going to work properly. So you want to make sure it's on that button, square on there. I didn't show in the video, but if you want to, you can press up and down a little bit to make sure it's on there that way too. Now, with this, I was having a little bit of problem because there's like a part of the motherboard that has to hook up with that button, and I couldn't hook them up together and then keep them in that place. So I actually had to assemble it upside down and then flip it. So see, I got it sliding, so it's like on the button, and you can feel it click. Like, you know that little click feel you have when you switch something? It doesn't have that if it's not hooked up to the motherboard. So you can feel it click when it's hooked up to the motherboard properly. And so I was like feeling for that. And then like when I tried to put it together right side up, it kept coming off. And then I could feel that it's not doing that clicking thing when you slide it. So I had to flip it and put it together that way. And then try to flip it back around, just holding the motherboard down and then flipping it back around. So you see there, I'm struggling a little bit trying again. And then I still got to keep the Bluetooth button in place. The connectivity button. I'm sorry you can't see this part Because I was trying so hard to get it together. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to flip it and put it together that way. And I was not thinking about where the camera was. I was just thinking, like, let me try to get this thing together. And the last time I took it apart, I didn't have to do that. So I don't know why I had to do it this time, but whatever. My daughter painted my nails. So drop a comment if you like them. Or a like if you like them. Some of it came off on the one hand. The other hand, it's looking good. So finally got it in and all the buttons in place and everything. So now I'm just putting the screws back in before it moves again. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up with those screws too. And there you go. Did y'all hear that Apple is having problems with their phones? They actually did a fix for it, but for a minute there, people were stealing people's information like Apple does. I always thought that between Apple and Google, if I wanted to be secure, I would go with Apple. It's still that way, but they had a little slip up there. I know Google, you can download the wrong game, and these people got all your information, your social security, everything. You're like, I just wanted to play a game. My whole ID is stolen. They're trying to be more transparent with by like listing and stuff, but sometimes people don't read that either. I know I was trying to download one game that I kept seeing on TV. Went on there, was so excited. Went to go download it, found out they wanted all types of information. I'm like, what do they need that for? I'm like, nah, it ain't worth it. It's not worth playing the game. This sucks. And then Google takes all your information anyway. They take your whole entire life. I tried to sign up for Google without using my phone number, and it would not let me at all. Like I tried. I was like, do they have a phone number to call? Because I don't want to give out my phone number. No. I'm like, what if you don't have a phone number? What if you you just don't have a phone yet? And because email is free, you're like, oh, let me sign up for email. Which you can do that because you can go to the library, check your email. So why can't you, sign up for it without a phone number? No. Then they want like all your information and everything like that. The only thing they don't want is your social security number, which they probably can find out after they take your history. And they make it so hard for you to delete your history off of Google, which Google takes your history. So, FYI, have fun finding it, because I know I had to try to find it, and it took me forever. You always delete something off your history, and it'll say, you deleted this off your history, but you didn't delete off your Google history. Nice to know. How do you get to your Google history? Oh, jump through 3 flaming hoops, and then go to this and that and the other. Give away your firstborn, and now we'll delete your history. But I digress, because this is YouTube, so I put everything back together. Looking good. Talk to most of the video. Checking it up, make sure it's looking nice, shiny. You see the click pads, those silver metal parts? That's where you press down and it registers it on those metal parts. Which are hooked up to the motherboard. It's pretty cool. And just make sure I'm getting up in that little crevice. Goes all the way up there. Nice. And this kind of slides into place. There we go. That's the last screw. Now all I gotta do is put my battery back in. And then I showed the USB going in because I thought it was really nice that you have like a little part to put your USB port slot or whatever in. USB port. And you can just put that right on top of there. And you're ready to travel.